This conference will now be recorded.
Right. So in the last few days, we have discussed about different selection screen elements like input fields, text fields, push buttons, tab buttons, block, tabbed block, all those things. Okay. And we also discussed some events like initialization at selection screen output. We have a few more elements and few more events that we cannot discuss at this stage. We'll see it later on. So now what I'll do is let me introduce. We have some more elements like list box and some other events, but that requires knowledge of some function models, all those things. So I'll discuss that later on. And my next requirement is very simple. I'll take some two input fields. Okay, they are the two input fields. This is the third input field. Assume this is something first number. This is second number. And this is something addition. Okay. So requirement is the validations are first two input fields should be what? Mandatory. First two input fields should be mandatory. Then on pressing enter key in the second input field, okay, perform some of the first two input fields, perform the sum of the first two input fields and display the result, display the sum value in what? A third input field. Okay, so far what you have done is we are either clicking on the execute button or we are clicking on the push button. Okay, so now the requirement is when the user presses enter key in the second input field only, we should perform the sum of these two and display the result in the third input field. So here we have to do some calculation like sum. So our agenda is not to do addition subtraction, but we are trying to understand what is the event triggered when you press enter key in the selection screen input field. So obviously this is the selection screen. Okay, on the selection screen we should have some three lines. In each line we need to construct what? One text field, nothing but comment, and one input field, and these are the validations. Okay, so let's quickly do this. Yeah, Z830 program 13. Selection screen input field events. Type of program is executable. Let us save it in the local object. Right. So this comments also, I don't want to start from the extreme left hand side. Let us start it from a what? Particular position. So we know already how to do it. So I want overall three lines. We require three lines. So let me design three lines. Selection screen begin of line and end of line. Selection screen begin of line and end of line. So in each line, let me construct one text field, nothing but comment. We call it a selection screen comment. Let us start from 9th position. I'll reserve some 20 spaces. I'll give the comment variable as LB1. In the same line, I want one input field. So I'll take parameters p underscore x type I. I'll provide some default value. Let us make this as obligatory. Okay, so repeat this process for the other two lines also. Done. So 9 of 20, I'll give the comment variable as lb2. This second input field, I'll get as p underscore y. Third text field, that is comment, I'll get as lb3. This I'll say p underscore z type I. I don't want any default value here. Okay, 9 of 20 so on. So default, I'll give some value 10. So overall, we have constructed what? 3 lines. So when I execute, I got the 3 lines, and you can see the label is starting from what? A 9th position. Okay, 9th position. Fine. Next, if you want to initialize that labels, what is the event you have to handle? Initialization event. This is the first event triggered when we start the program execution and before displaying the selection screen. LB1 is equal to, I'll say something, first number. LB2 equal to second number. And LB3 equal to, I'll say something, sum is. So when I execute this, yeah, this is understood, nothing much to discuss here. So we have constructed 3 lines. What is the requirement now? The user will enter some values in the first 2 input fields. Okay, in the second input field, whenever I press enter, I should perform the sum of these two and display that value in the third input field. So let's see how to do it. So when we click on the push buttons, what is the first event trigger? I told at selection screen. Similarly, when you click on a tab button, the same event is triggered at selection screen. When you select a radio button in the radio button group, the event triggered is at selection screen on radio button group. Okay, whenever we select or deselect a checkbox, the event triggered is at selection screen. Similarly, on the selection screen, if you press enter key in the input field, SAP will trigger multiple events one after the other. The first event which gets triggered when you press enter key is what? At selection screen on field. Okay, so whenever you press enter key in the selection screen input field, the event triggered is at selection screen on field. So what is the event I'll handle here? At selection screen on. I want that addition to be performed when I press enter key in the second input field. What is the name of the second input field? In this case, p underscore y. So on p underscore y, I'll try to perform some calculation. I'll say p underscore z equal to what? P underscore x plus p underscore y. That's all. Let's see whether it works or not. Save it, check for the syntax. So when you execute, right, assume they are the values. I'll press enter. Where is the focus now? In the second input field, I'll press enter. I got the result as what? 97. Okay, not only this event, there are multiple events triggered one after the other. Okay, in the earlier cases also, what I said, when I click a push button or tab button, what is the first event triggered? At selection screen. After triggering at selection screen, the next event which gets triggered is at selection screen output. Similarly here also, whenever I press enter, we understood that the first event triggered is at selection screen on field. After this, it will also trigger at selection screen event, just for a confirmation, not required, but just for a confirmation. At say at selection screen. Okay, I'll just what give a message kind of thing. Message at selection screen type out I. I'll do one thing. I'll also handle the event at selection screen output. Here also I'll just give some message kind of thing. Message at selection screen output. Done. So I've handled multiple events. So overall we handled how many events? 4 events. I'll try to set the breakpoint in each of these events. Last week beginning, we have started with the debugging. Okay, so let me put the breakpoints in these events. I want to understand the flow of this event's execution, the sequence of this particular event's execution. So I'll put the breakpoint in the initialization event, at selection screen on field event, as well as in at selection screen event and at selection screen output. So already we know when we start the execution of the program, what is the first event triggered related to selection screen? Initialization. After initialization, the next event triggered is at selection screen output. After at selection screen output, the selection screen will be displayed to the user for the first time. So let me execute and confirm. So when I execute, yeah, you can see here where it is stopping. It is stopping in the initialization event. So it is understood that the first event which got triggered is what? Initialization. I am not interested to debug this statement. So I'll say F8. I'll say F8. Done. Where it is going, see, at selection screen output. See the yellow color arrow pointer. It is at the 30th line. So the next event triggered is what? At selection screen output. Okay. So I'll say F8 so that this message statement gets executed. Done. So you can see on the status bar what is the message I got at selection screen output. So what is the confirmation now? Before showing the selection screen to the user for the first time, the first event triggered was what? Initialization. After that, at selection screen output will be triggered. After that, first time the selection screen is displayed to the user. Right. So on the selection screen, user might perform some action. Depending on the type of action, an appropriate event will be triggered. So here I'll put the cursor in the second input field. Okay, I'll press enter. Where is the focus now? In the second input field. I'll press enter. When I press enter, yeah, you can see here where it is going at selection screen P underscore Y. It is the cursor is at the 24th line. The arrow pointer is at the 24th line. So it is evident that when you press enter key in the selection screen input field, the first event triggered is what? At selection screen on field. Done. So I'll say F8. Yeah, when I say F8, next it is going to what? At selection screen. It is going to at selection screen. I'll say F8. Okay, I got the message what? At selection screen. When I continue, next where it is going? At selection screen output. Okay, F8. That's all. So I got the last message what? At selection screen output. So what is the overall understanding here? If you start the program execution in this example, okay, in this example, when we start the program execution, so start off what? Program execution. The first event which gets triggered is what? Initialization event that we already know. After that, what is the next event which gets triggered? At selection screen, output will be triggered. After that, what happens? Yes, selection screen gets displayed. Selection screen gets displayed to the user first time. First time the selection screen will be displayed to the user. So on the selection screen, user might perform different actions. We are not bothered about the other actions. We are bothered about pressing enter key in the input field, one of the input field. So first time the selection screen is displayed. User performs what? An action. User performs an action. What is that action? Say pressing what? Enter key. Pressing enter key in the what? Input field. Any of the input field. So whenever the user presses enter key in the input field, what is the first event triggered here? At selection screen. Okay, at selection screen on field means in whichever field the user has pressed enter key, that event gets triggered at selection screen on field name. After this, what is the next event triggered again? At selection screen. And after this, what is the event triggered at selection screen? What? Output. So what is the understanding? At selection screen output will be displayed what? Will be executed what? Twice. Then after triggering at selection screen output, again the selection screen gets refreshed. Selection screen gets refreshed and displayed to the user. Okay, so thumb rule is wherever at selection screen event is triggered, after at selection screen, every time it triggers what? At selection screen output. So the difference between initialization and at selection screen output is initialization will be triggered only once in the lifetime of the entire selection screen, whereas at selection screen output will be triggered multiple times. First time before showing the selection screen to the user, and every time after triggering what? At selection screen event. Okay, in the last sessions, we clicked on the push buttons or tab buttons. What is the event triggered there? At selection screen. There also, after at selection screen, again it triggers what? At selection screen output. Then the selection screen will be refreshed and displayed to the user. So point in this example is, what is the event? At selection screen on field. When that event gets triggered, when you press enter key in the any of the selection screen input field. In this case, I give p underscore y. Similarly, if you want to perform action in the first field also, what you'll do, you'll handle the same event once again. You'll say at selection screen on p underscore x. So this is field specific events, because here we are giving the field name, but where other events will not give any field name. Okay, we'll compare the SciUCom value function code, and depending on that we'll perform the appropriate action. So any questions in this example? Right. Last class I gave one assignment. Anyone able to do? What are the 12th example? Yeah, in the 12th example only, I believe. After selecting a radio button, I gave the right statement. When we debug, we understood that right statement got executed and is generating the output. But when I do the execution here it is not showing me the result on the LPS screen immediately. Right? Message is coming, but when I use the right statement, the output screen is not getting shown by default. Anyone tried that? Okay, take your own time and do it. Let me know. Okay, right. So this is the other event at selection screen on field. Now let us see some miscellaneous concepts in this basic programming only. Let's see some miscellaneous statements. Already we know continuous statement, exit statement, looping statements, conditional statements, like that. Okay. And we know about the data keyword, write keyword, parameters keyword, constants, all those things. Similarly, we have a keyword called as field symbols. There are many syntaxes or many usages related to the field symbol. Let us see one of the basic usage. Yeah, for the time being, understand that field symbol statement is also used for declaring what? Variables. So far, in order to declare the variables, what are the statements we are using? Data statement, constants, or parameters. Similarly, we have another keyword, another statement called as field symbols. We have multiple syntaxes for that field symbol. First, we are trying to understand the basic syntax. So I'll declare a variable first, data v underscore x type I. I'll initialize this int variable to something 10, and I'll declare. Okay, so this v underscore x is what type? Integer. Now let me try to declare another variable by using field symbols keyword. By using field symbols keyword, field hyphen symbols, I'll give the field symbol name as something fs, some name type I, or I'll simply say field symbols fs. Field symbols fs. Let's see whether I'll get any errors. When I do syntax check, yeah, I got an error in the fourth line. Field symbol names must begin with less than and end with what? Greater than. So it seems that the field symbol variable is always enclosed in what? Angular bracket. So if I declare like this, it is giving me what? Syntax error. It is giving the syntax error. So what is the adjustment here? It seems I have to enclose this in what? And it is a rule we have to follow. Field symbol variable is always enclosed between less than and what? Greater than. Done. So save it, check for the syntax. I don't have any errors. Now, acha, while declaring this field symbol, did I mention any data type? I have not mentioned whether it is integer, character, pack, string. I have not mentioned any data type. So field symbol is a special variable which can hold any kind of data. A field symbol is a special variable which can hold any kind of data. So what I'll do now is, as of now, I have not stored any value in the field symbol. Let me try to print v underscore x value and field symbol value. So for your understanding, I'll give a message v underscore x is v underscore x. Okay. Let me also display the field symbol. Field symbol fs. Field symbol fs is. I'll try to print that variable fs. Done. Okay, let's see if that works or not. Save. Check for the syntax. No errors. When I execute, yeah. What is the value of v underscore x I got? 10. And field symbol value is nothing. Nothing is there in the field symbol. Because I declare the field symbol, but I have not stored any value in the field symbol. So this is, it is easily understood. The value of x is 10, field symbol is nothing. Now what is my requirement is, I'll try to assign this x value to what? Field symbol. So we already know if you want to assign one variable value to another variable, we use assignment operator. So keeping that in mind, I'll say, what is that? What is the field symbol every fs? Fs equal to v underscore x. So what I'm doing here, I'm assigning, or else I'll do one thing. I'll say fs is equal to something 30. Fs is equal to 30. Right? I'm assigning a value to the field symbol. Let me try to print. Yeah, I'll try to print the field symbol value. Initially, when there was nothing, I didn't got anything. Now I'm trying to initialize 30. Let's see whether I'll get 30 or not. What happened here? I got an error, assignment error, overwriting of a protected field. Assignment error, overwriting of a protected field. So it is giving me an error where it is giving the error in the 9th line. It is giving me the error. 9th line. So if you scroll down, yeah, what is the 9th line here? We are trying to assign 30 to the field symbol. It is giving me a runtime error, a dump. We call it as dump. So this is giving me what? A runtime error. This statement execution is giving what? Runtime error. So what is the meaning? I'm unable to use assignment operator for assigning the value to the field symbol. Now what I'll do? I'll try to store x value to fs. What is there inside x? X value is what? 10. So I'll say fs. I'll assign what? X. V underscore x. I'm assigning it to what? Field symbol. When I'm directly assigning the value, it is giving the runtime error. Now I'm trying to assign a variable to the field symbol. Done. No errors. When I execute, yeah, here also I got the runtime error, assignment error, overwriting of a protected field. So if you scroll down, what is the line number? 10th line. In the 10th line, I am getting the runtime error. Same. When you're trying to assign a variable, I am getting the runtime error. So this assignment also is leading to what? Runtime error. So what is the understanding as of now? I'm unable to use assignment operator. This is equal to, we call it as I'm unable to use assignment operator for assigning a value or a what? A variable to the field symbol. It is not allowing. So what I will do now, I will say assign. I will use a keyword called as assign. Assign what? V underscore x to fs. I'm assigning v underscore x to fs. Now for our confirmation, let me print the value of x also. Okay, I'm trying to print the value of x also. X is so and so and field symbol fs. Done. Right. Okay, so I'm assigning x value to field symbol. After assigning, I'm trying to print the x value and the field symbol value. What is the value of x? 10, na? So I should get 10 here. And this 10 we are assigning to fs. Na? Fs also I should get as what? 10. Let's see that. Yeah, this is understood. X value is what? 10 and field symbol value is 10. So what is the point you have to focus here is I cannot use assignment operator to assign a variable or a value to the field symbol. Instead of using assignment operator, we have to use a keyword called as assign. So like this, you have to assign a variable to what? Field symbol. Whenever we assign a variable to the field symbol, whenever we assign a variable to the field symbol, a pointer link will be established between the now after assigning, I call this as a reference variable. Once we assign a variable to the field symbol, that variable we pronounce it as what? Reference variable. So what is the point I want to convey? Whenever we assign a variable to the field symbol, there will be a pointer link. There will be a pointer link between the reference variable and field symbol what? Variable. There will be a pointer link between reference variable and field symbol variable. So when it's a pointer link, any changes made to the reference variable, any changes made to the data of reference variable will automatically reflect the field symbol or vice versa. Okay, done. So when you assign x value to fs, what was the x value? 10 na? X value was 10. The same 10 is assigned to the field symbol. So I got x as 10, field symbol also as 10. Now a link would be there between the x and what? Fs. So internally what happens here? Excuse me one second. Let me save this. Right. So this is your x here. V underscore x. What is the current value of V underscore x? 10. Na? Okay. And assume this is the field symbol. This is a field symbol. Field symbol what? Fs. Field symbol will always enclosed angular brackets. So we have assigned what? X value to what? Fs. So whenever we assign a link, a pointer link will be there between X and Fs and vice versa. Something like this, a pointer link. So what is the current value of X? 10. So that 10 is assigned to what? Fs. That's what I got the result as what? 10. Understood? I got X as 10, Fs as 10. Now what I'll do? I'll change the value of V underscore X to something 15. I'm changing which value? X value to 15. After changing X value, I am not reassigning. But I told once we assign, a pointer link will be established between the reference variable and the field symbol variable. So any changes made to the data of either of the variables will reflect what? Other variable. So here what I'll do, let me again print. I'm not reassigning, remember. I'm not reassigning. So I'm just changing the value of what? X. So V underscore X I'm changing to 15 Again, I am printing the X value and what FS value. So when I execute, what I got here, X value is 15, FS value, field symbol value is also 15. So what you have to understand, when you change this X value, I have changed this 10 to 15, 10 to 15. So the moment you change the value of this reference variable, it will automatically reflect the field symbol variable. So this was made to how much? 15. So when I print X value and FS value, both the cases I got what? 15. Now what I'll do, I will say I will change the FS value. I'll change the FS value to how much? 25. I'll change the FS value to 25. So earlier, initially when there was no assignment, when I tried to use the assignment operator for assigning a value to the field symbol, I got what? Runtime error. Now I am doing the same thing, but already there is some assignment. Na? So I'm changing what value? FS value. So when I execute this, X value is how much? 25. FS value is also what? 25. So what is the point here? We are trying to change the FS value. It was 15 earlier. Now we try to change it to what? 25. We tried to change it to 25. It is automatically reflecting. It is automatically reflecting the reference variable. So this has become how much? 25. So what is the point you have to understand here is, whenever we assign any variable to a field symbol variable, a pointer link will be established between the referenced variable and field symbol variable. Any changes made to the data of either of the variables will reflect what? Both the variables. That's what we are seeing here. So when I print at the last, X value is also 25, FS value is also what? 25. Any questions so far? Okay. Now what I'll do, let me declare another variable, something data v underscore y. Okay, v underscore y of something 10, something v underscore y 10 type C value. I'll try to initialize to something gensoft. Okay, so I declared another variable v underscore y. Okay, another variable I declared v underscore y, which is a what type? Some character type. What is the value I stored here? Gensoft. Okay, done. Let me try to, yeah, I'll try to, okay, let me print it otherwise, or else let me try to assign. I'll say assign v underscore y to fs, to the same field symbol variable. I'm assigning this v underscore y. So what happens now? The link is broken. The link is broken between what? X and fs. The link will be established between y and what? The field symbol variable fs. Okay, so the link is established between these two. Clear? So what is the value of v underscore y? Gensoft. So this value will be assigned to this current value of fs, which is 25, will be overwritten with the latest assignment variable value. What is that? Gensoft. So the link is broken between x and fs now. Link is established between y and what? Fs. So let me try to print all the three values. I'll print x value, field symbol value, as well as that new variable, what? Y. V underscore y is v underscore y. Done. So x value will remain what? 25, and fs value will be gensoft, and v underscore y value also will be what? Gensoft. So I got the result here. So when I execute, yes, you can see v underscore x remains 25, fs value is what? Gensoft. V underscore y value is also what? Gensoft. So what is the point you have to focus here is the same field symbol variable earlier I used for storing integer. Now I am using the same field symbol variable to assign what? Character. Okay, similarly, I'll say uline. Now, if you make any changes to v underscore y, it will reflect what? Fs. Or if you change any value to fs, it will reflect what? V underscore y. Let me declare another variable, v underscore z type d. Okay, value. I'll say sci datum. I'm assigning the system date. Okay. Now I'll say assign what? V underscore z to what? Fs. Assign v underscore z to fs. So v underscore z is what data type here? Date data type. So assume this is v underscore z. V underscore z. We are storing what? Today's date. So internally it will store it as what? Year, month, and date format. So year is something 2022, month is 03, date is something 14. So now what I'll do? I'll try to assign z value to what? Fs. So already there is an assignment between y and fs. So this link would be broken now. This link would be broken. The link will be established. The pointer link will be maintained between what? This v underscore z and what? This fs. So what is the value of v underscore z? The current date. So it will override this gensoft with the current date. So what is the current date here? Something what 2022 03 14, whatever it is. So the date would be stored in that particular fs. So I'll try to print all these four values. Here I'll say v underscore what? V underscore z is v underscore z. Save, check for the syntax. Oh, acha, it is giving an error. Datetime is not a constant. Okay, so if I say like this, it's not allowing that. So it is not allowing that. Okay, fine, no problem. I'll put it separately. I'll say v underscore z equal to what? Psi datum. Save it, check for the syntax, no errors. So when I execute, yeah, v underscore x remains 25. Let me change the color. So when I execute, v underscore x remains 25. Field symbol value is what now? The date, 14th March 2022. V underscore y remains gensoft. V underscore z is what? The current date. So the output is not important here. The point we are trying to understand is a field symbol is a special data structure. We call it as a data structure, nothing but a variable. A field symbol is a special variable which can store any kind of what? Data. Okay, to assign a variable to the field symbol, we have to use what? Assign operator. Sorry, assign statement. Okay, whenever we assign a variable to the field symbol, that variable we call it as what? Reference variable. Once the assignment is done, any changes made to the value of the reference variable will reflect what? Field symbol variable or vice versa. Okay. So this is one of the syntax related to field symbols. So during the course, at different places, we'll come across what different syntax related to the field symbols. So other syntax I cannot discuss at this stage. This is a base syntax. Yeah, any questions, please ask. No questions? Okay, chalo. Right. Yeah. Now let us see some string functions. Observe here. These are all the miscellaneous concepts. Okay. Yeah, just try to understand this. I'll read some input value, p underscore x type string. Okay, I'll try to print this p underscore x. So I declare a parameter variable of type what? String. Okay, so save it, check for the syntax, activate. When I execute this, when I say F8, okay, I'll enter some value here like Gensoft. Try to understand. I'm entering GEN, I'll say SO something FT. So what I'm doing is I'm entering it as a combination of lowercase and uppercase. GEN I entered in lowercase, S in uppercase, again O in lowercase, F in uppercase, T in what? Lowercase. Right? So when I press enter, it is converted to what? Uppercase. So when I execute, when I print it, what happened here? I got the result also in what? Uppercase. Okay, suppose here I'll say something Gensoft, I'll say something ABAP. So I'm getting the combination of lowercase and what? Uppercase. Whether you press enter or don't press enter, if you directly execute also, what is happening here? Entire thing is printing in what? Uppercase. So what is understanding? The character values that we capture on the selection screen, the character values that we enter on the selection screen is always captured in what? Uppercase. It is a default behavior. It is always captured in uppercase. So what is my expectation now? I should retain the case sensitivity. Means if I enter in uppercase, I should able to access in uppercase only. If I enter in lowercase, again I should able to access in lowercase. If I enter it as a combination, I should able to retain that particular combination. But here, irrespective of whatever the case sensitivity we enter, it is always captured in what? Uppercase. That is a default behavior. So what I'll do now, related to parameter statement, I believe we have seen some additions earlier, like default, obligatory, user command, something like that. Similarly, I'm having one addition called as lowercase. We are having a addition, or we call it as option called as what? Lowercase. So lowercase doesn't mean that it will capture in lowercase. No, in whatever case we enter, that case would be retained. Okay, let me try to execute this. Done. It is activated. So when I execute, right, I'll enter in the combination of lowercase and what? Uppercase. Right, I'll press enter. What happened? It is not converted to uppercase. When I execute also, I got in the same format. In whatever case sensitive I entered, I got in the same format. Right? So this is a default behavior. I repeat, the character field values that we enter on the selection screen, by default, they are captured in uppercase. If you want to retain the case sensitivity, we have to use addition called as lowercase. Okay, done. So this is one point we understood. Now my next requirement is here only. Very simple. I'm not using any lowercase addition. So suppose I enter something what? Gents up. So my expectation is irrespective of whatever case I enter, either lowercase or uppercase or combination, when I print this p underscore x value, when I print this p underscore x value, only the first character should be displayed in what? Uppercase, and the rest of the characters in what? Lowercase. Okay, only the first character in uppercase, rest of the characters in lowercase. So when I execute, I'm getting by default in uppercase. I don't want that. I want only the first character in uppercase, rest of the characters in what? Lowercase. Even if I enter multiple words, suppose I enter something, gens of something like this. Only the first word, first character should be not uppercase. Rest of the characters should be in what? Lowercase. Only the first word, first character should be in uppercase. Rest of the characters in what? Lowercase. So how do we approach? Can anyone guide me the solution? How do we proceed further? Only the first character should be displayed in uppercase. The rest of the characters in lowercase. So how do we approach? Anyone?
సో పొజిషన్ మెన్షన్ చేస్తే వస్తుందేమో.
Position, but which position you want to mention?
ఫస్ట్ పొజిషన్ ఆఫ్ ద స్ట్రింగ్.
Okay. What about the rest of the characters? I don't know.
డిఫాల్ట్.
I don't know whether the user will enter 5 characters or 6 characters. I don't know. I don't know. So irrespective of any number of characters I enter, only the first character should be in lowercase. Rest of the whole characters should be not lowercase. How do you proceed? Yes, any other solution? Anyone? I want the approach. I'm not expecting the proper solution, but I want the approach.
సో డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ చెక్.
Documentation. Okay. So what I'll do is, first of all, I will calculate the length of the string entered by the user. Okay. I want to calculate the length of the string entered by the user. Okay. So in ABAP, we have some string functions. One of the string function is strlen. Okay. strlen. So what I'll do is, I'll declare one variable like a v underscore length type I, any name. Now I'll say v underscore len is equal to, we have one string function called as strlen. Okay, v underscore length equal to string length of p underscore x. What are the string we entered? That string value stored in which variable? P underscore x. So I'm calculating the length of that particular entered string. This string length function will return integer. That's why I'm storing that return value in the integer variable. Let's see whether I'll get any errors in this expression. So when I do syntax check, I got another field string length is unknown. It is neither in one of the specified tables nor defined by the data statement. So this is giving me what? Syntax error. So what I have to do is, I have to maintain minimum one space, string length of, open the parenthesis, you have to maintain minimum one space, p underscore x. Done. Okay. Now for your understanding, I'll try to print length of the entered string is, length of the entered string is, what is the variable? V underscore len. So string length function will return the length of the string. So when I execute, I'll enter some value like gensoft. When I execute, what I got? Length of the entered string is 7. Okay, I'll enter gensoft abap. Okay, when I execute, what is the length of the string? I got 12. Even space is also considered what? One character. Okay. Yeah, I'll enter some value. When I execute, I got the length of the string as what? Something 22. So string length is a function which will return the length of the given string. So now what I have to do is assume that, for example, I entered p underscore x value as gensoft. P underscore x value I entered as gensoft. So by default, internally it is captured in uppercase now, because I am not using what? Lowercase addition. I am not using lowercase addition. So by default, internally, it is captured in uppercase. So assume that p underscore x value, I'll enter it as what? Gensoft. Okay. Yeah. Next, what you are doing here, we are trying to find the length of that string by using a string function called as str length. So in case of Gensoft, what is the length? 7. Na? That length value will come and sit in which variable? V underscore len. V underscore len is equal to how much? Equal to how much? 7. Because I am assuming that the entered string is Gensoft. So every character in the string, will have a position, will have the index position. So in ABAP, the index position starts from 1, means the position of G will be 0, E will be 1, like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I clear? I repeat, in ABAP, the index position of the string starts from 0. In some programming language, it may start from 1. We are not bothered about the other languages. In case of ABAP, the index position of a string starts from what? 0, 0. So 0 is position means I am referring to the first character. Like that, if I assume the string is Gensoft, from 0 to 6 is the index positions. Now what is our agenda? I have to extract, I have to convert only the first character into what? Uppercase. Rest of the characters to what? Lowercase. Only the first character in uppercase, rest of the characters in lowercase. So what I'll do is, observe here. I'll declare some 2 more variables. I'll say data. Some variables I'll declare. V underscore str1 type string. Okay, I'll declare another variable. V underscore str2 type string. So why I declared this 2 string variable is, in this string variable, I'll store the first character. In this variable, I'll store the rest of the characters. That is the reason I declared what? 2 string variables. I declared 2 string variables. So what I'll do now? Observe this carefully. So v underscore str1 equal to, I want to store the first character, remember. V underscore str1 is equal to, where is the main string which you have entered? In the variable p underscore x. Na? The entered string is captured in which field? P underscore x. So I'll say v underscore str1 equal to p underscore x plus, okay, what you have to do? We have to extract the first character. So what I told here, in ABAP, the index of the string starts from what? 0th position. So I'll say v underscore str1 equal to p underscore x plus 0 of 1. 0 of 1 means we are telling SAP, in the string p underscore x, starting from the 0th position, extract how many number of characters? 1 character. 0 of 1 means starting from the index position 0, extract how many characters? 1 character. Let's see whether I'll get any syntax errors. I don't have any syntax error. Done. So now what I'll do? Okay, fine. Then what I have to do? What is the next part here? Starting from the index position 1. Starting from the index position 1, I have to extract the rest of the characters. No? Starting from the index position 1 means nothing but second character. Starting from the second character, I have to extract the rest of the portion of the string and store it in which variable? V underscore str2. So before that, what I'll do is, I'll declare one variable V underscore position type I. I'll say V underscore position equal to, where is the length stored? In which variable? V underscore length, minus 1. Why I'm saying minus 1? Because we know in ABAP the index starts from what? 0. Now what I'll do? Observe this. V underscore str2 is equal to, what is the main string? P underscore x plus, from which portion you want to start extracting? From the second portion, second character onwards. Means what is the index position? 1. 1. How many characters you have to extract? Length minus 1. length minus 1 is stored in which variable? V underscore position. Understood? If I enter gensoft, the length is 7, but I don't know whether I enter gensoft or what. Irrespective of whatever I entered, the length will be stored in this variable. That is the reason, since the index starts from 0, I am saying length minus 1. So what is the analysis of this statement? In the string p underscore x, starting from the index position 1, extract these many number of characters. If you assume length as 7, 7 minus 1 is what? 6. Na? So starting from the index position 1, extract how many characters? 6 characters. That is the meaning of that. Done. So what is the understanding now? V underscore str1 will have the first character. V underscore str2 will have the rest of the characters. So what is our agenda? The first character should be printed in uppercase. The rest of the characters in what? Lowercase. So what I'll do here, I know that this will contain what? First character. Anyhow, by default is in uppercase, but still I'll try to convert. Still I'll try to translate. I'm having another string function called as translate. Translate v underscore str1 to uppercase. Okay, similarly, here I'll say translate v underscore str2 to lowercase. V underscore str2 to lowercase. So translate str1 to uppercase, translate str2 to what? Lowercase. Done. Now, what is the original string? Original string is what? P underscore x. Na? Original string is p underscore x. Now I'll try to clear that value. We have a statement, we have a keyword called as clear. I'll say clear p underscore x. So whatever the value is there in p underscore x, I'm destroying it. I'm destroying the p underscore x value. Now to combine the first character and the rest of the character. Na? So I will say everything already I've discussed. Concatenate what? V underscore str1 and V underscore str2 into P underscore x. Concatenate V underscore str1 and str2 into P underscore x. Then I'll say write converted string is P underscore x. I'll give some color 3. Okay, I'm trying to print the converted string. So let's execute and see the output first, then I'll debug. So when I say F8, I'll enter something gensoft as a combination of lowercase and uppercase, whatever it is. When I execute, yes, this is the actual string. What is the converted string? Gensoft. Only G I got in uppercase, rest of the characters in what? Lowercase. Okay. Now I'll enter something gensoft. I'll enter something abap. Combination of more than one word. Execute this. What I got, according to our logic, only the first word starting character should be what? Lowercase, rest of the characters in what? Uppercase. Okay, let me debug this from the beginning. So try to focus. I'll put the breakpoint on the 7th line. Yeah, now I'll enter something gensoft. Try to understand gensoft what? Something technologies. Okay, gensoft technologies. Right, when I execute, yeah, try to focus. By default, the string is captured in uppercase. Na? So if you see p underscore x, entire thing is stored in what? Uppercase. That is the default behavior. We can't do anything. The whole string value is what? Gensoft technology, which is in uppercase. Done. F5. Yeah, control is going to the 11th line. 10th line is a variable declaration which I cannot debug. So what is that statement I wrote in the 11th line? We are using a function called as strLength. It is a string function which returns the length of the string. So if you see v underscore len value at this stage, by default integer contains what? 0. By default integer contains 0. Okay. I'm using a function called a string length of p underscore x. So gensoft technologies might be I'm having around 17 to 18 characters. I'll get the length here. When I say F5, yes, what is the value of length here? 20 itself. Even Space is also considered one character. So length value is what 20. Means what are the index positions? 0 to 19. Index positions are 0 to 19. First character index position is 0. Okay, right. I'm just printing the length of the entered string F5. It might have printed. So if you see the output generated so far, Gensoft Technologies, the length of the entered string is 20. Done. Now what I am doing here, I declare two string variables str1 and str2. If you see str1, it is blank as of now, nothing is there. And if you see str2, it is also blank. If you see POS, by default is what? 0. By default is what? 0. Done. So what is that expression I am using here? V underscore str1 equal to P underscore x plus 0 of 1. How do we interpret this statement? In the string P underscore x, in the string P underscore x, starting from the index position 0, extract how many number of characters? One character. Starting from the index 0, extract one character. 0th position is G only. Na? This G will be extra. How many characters you are extracting? Only one character. So this G will be extracted and stored in which variable? V underscore str1. As of now, it is space. When I say fi, yes, V underscore str is what? G. Anyhow, by default is in uppercase, but still I am trying to use what? Translate function, which will convert that string to what? Uppercase. Anyhow, by default is uppercase. So even if I don't write the 18th line, no, not an issue, but default is in uppercase. So when I say F5, it is translate to what? Uppercase. Then P underscore X, POS is equal to length minus 1. So the index positions are 0 to 19. Na? So length minus 1 means position becomes what? 19. When I say F5, yes, what is the value of V underscore POS? 19. Next, what you are doing? From the main string P underscore X, starting from the index position 1, we are extracting these many number of characters. Starting from the index position 1 means nothing but second character, means E. Position 1 means what? E. From there, how many characters you have to extract? 19 characters. So starting from the index position, extract 19 characters. Rest of the 19 characters. That 19 characters should be stored in which variable? V underscore str2. So when I say fi, yeah, you can see in V underscore str2, what is the value store? Nsoft Technologies. Nsoft by default is in uppercase. What is the function I'm using? Translate. Translate str2 to what? Lowercase. So when I say fi, yes, it got converted to what? Lowercase. Everything is stored in what? Lowercase. 1 second, please. Yeah. So str2 contains the rest of the characters, which is translated to uppercase. Then I am using the clear statement, clear P underscore X. What is the value of P underscore X? Gensoft Technologies, which is there in uppercase. So I'm just clearing that. What is the behavior of the clear statement? It destroys the variable value. It will set back to the default value. What is the default value for string space? Na? So when I say clear, even if I don't clear, I can directly execute the concatenate statement. But better programming is, good practice is, before storing a new value, you destroy the old value explicitly by using what? Clear statement. So if I say clear P underscore X, when I say fi, done. What is the value of P underscore X? Space. What you are doing now? Concatenate function. str1 and str2 I'm combining and putting in what? P underscore X. What is there in str1? G. What is there in str2? Nsoft Technologies, everything in lowercase. I'm combining that and putting in what? P underscore X. Fi. Yes, P underscore X is Gensoft Technologies. Only the first characters in what? Uppercase. Rest of the characters in what? Lowercase. Then I'm printing it. I'll say last statement. I'll say F8. I got Gensoft Technologies. Am I clear? Your assignment is. Suppose if I enter something like this, Gensoft Technologies something above, for example, like this. Okay, your assignment is every word starting character should be in uppercase. According to my logic, whatever I have written, only the first word starting character is in what uppercase. Your exercise now is every word starting character should be in uppercase. Rest of the character should be in what lowercase. So when I execute here, according to my logic, in the Gensoft technology above, only G in uppercase. Rest of the characters in what lowercase. So your output should be what? G should be in uppercase, T should be in uppercase, A should be in what? Uppercase. So take your own time. Don't be in a hurry. Take weeks of time and try to do that. Don't lift your hand just by spending 10-15 minutes time. Spend days of time, weeks of time. Put time on the system, then you'll get the result. Understood? So in the real time also, whenever a requirement is given, don't expect that we have to develop that object in hours of time or minutes of time. Sometimes it will take weeks of time also, sometimes months of time also, because entire team may not get the solution. Okay, so we have to do R&D. So don't lift your hands just by spending 1 hour, 2 hours. Take your own time, try to do it on your own. Means try to check the documentation, Google, check for the blocks. Okay, check how to do it. So first of all, what you have to do is in the entered string, we have to calculate the number of words. Calculate the number of words. Whenever a space is encountered, it is understood that beginning of a new word. Okay, so at the beginning of every new word, first character should be in what? Uppercase. So I gave the inputs in English, you have to put it in above. Calculate the number of words, or I'll put it in other way. Calculate the number of spaces. So the after space, the beginning of the first character should be what? Uppercase. So try to do on your own, right? You have to use, you might be using other string functions. Check what are those functions. So here what I covered here, string length is one string function, translate is another function. Translate, what is the purpose of this translate? It converts a given string into lowercase or what? Uppercase. Concatenate, already we know, it combines multiple substrings into what? Single string. And this logic, whatever I wrote, this logic we call it as offset logic. It is called as offset logic, used for what? Extracting what? Portion of the string. If you want to extract the portion of the string, if you take some databases or languages, we have a function like substring. Directly I can use substr function. I can extract the portion of the string. Here I need to follow this logic. This is, we should not give any space here. If I give space, it may give error. It is giving error. So this entire thing is single expression only. This logic we call it as offset logic, used for extracting the portion of the string. So I got only A in what? Uppercase. Right, so try to do this assignment. If you get the result, send me the program. Take your own time. I'm not expecting the result in 1 or 2 days. Take your own time. Try to Google, check for different blocks. Spend time on the system, you may get it. If not today, maybe after 1 week. Okay, but try to do it on your own. Yeah, any questions in this example, please ask.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Sajat.
Sir, to combine the string, there is no other way other than concatenate.
Yeah, as of now, concatenate. Why?
No, just I'm curious if there is any other than concatenate.
There might be, but at this stage, we don't know those things. When we get into function models, methods, there might be some other alternatives, but at this stage, only concatenate.
Okay.
Yeah, any other queries? Right, so try to do the previous assignments also. I repeat, it will take days of time, weeks of time. So when I give the assignment, if you're not getting the result in 1 or 2 days, don't get panic. Don't get panic. In the real time also, sometimes it will take weeks of time. Okay. So what you will do in real time is, suppose an object is given to me. Okay. I'm trying, keeping on trying, I'm not getting the result. So I'll throw the ball in my supervisor's court. That fellow also may not be aware of the solution. He will throw the ball in other consultant court. Like that, it would take days of time, weeks of time sometimes. So it should be a team effort to come to the solution. Okay, so main thing is, don't panic. Don't try to send me the mail saying that I'm not getting you will not get it now. It will take some time. Okay, suddenly if you ask me anything also, I may not be able to get the solution immediately. I need to spend time on the system. I have to do some R&D. Then I may get some solution. The same solution you may achieve in a different way. Okay, so which is a better way? You have to analyze and do it. That will come only by practice and experience. Right, so I'll stop for today. Tomorrow also we'll see some other miscellaneous things. We are still in basic programming only. So I'm done for today. We'll continue tomorrow. Any queries before I sign off? Chalo then. So thank you everyone. We'll meet tomorrow.